Flosstube, it's Liz again, back again to tell you some more of my stitching adventures. So it is January 21st, and I thought I'd get you caught up on how my WIPGO is doing and also show you some of the other things I've been working on lately. So for WIPGO January, the two numbers called were 22 and 9. For 22 for me, my 22 was something that has a small number of stitches done, which honestly fit a lot of projects, but I decided to go with this Bear Fishing by Sue Coleman. Sorry, I didn't take it out of the plastic, so it's a little hard to see, but there it is. And my goal for WIPGO is to do 5 days of stitching, which is 5 days for me. So I didn't do number of stitches because I just don't know how much time I'm going to have for stitching. I sneak it in when I have time available. So this is what I got done. You may recall, or you may not, when I started this, I just had that little bit of brown down at the bottom. The very bottom stitch is probably about 50 stitches done. So it's a nice amount of work for 5 days for me. And I actually did that first 5 days. I was raring to go. So, which is great because as I said before, sometimes I just get contrary. And when I tell myself I have to work on something, my brain goes, no, I don't want to do that. So it worked. And I did get 5 days in a row done on that first week of January. The next one was number 9, something I haven't touched in a while. Boy, does that fit a lot of stuff. So I chose this Riolis Lavender Fields. Beautiful, beautiful one that my sister gave me a few years ago, maybe quite a few years ago. And here's where I am with that. I actually got a lot of work done. Most of the purple that you see off to the left side got finished. So a beautiful kit. I really love these Riolis kits. They've got that nice soft wool as part of it. Some of it is the regular floss, the cotton floss that we're all used to using. And then some of it is more of a fuzzy wool, which is really fun to stitch with. Makes me feel like I'm needle pointing. So also got 5 days done on that one. So first month of WIPGO is done. Can't wait to see what those next numbers are. I am actually really loving this. So for once, I'm hopeful that I will stick with something for more than a month or two. We'll see. After those, boy, do any of you get into that place where you just can't settle into any one project? That was how I was. I don't know if it's, cabin fever. It's cold here in Colorado. It was actually really cold for a couple days. We were down past the negatives. So it's been cold. I've been really busy with work, and I get a project out. I put in about 10, 15 stitches and just go, I'm done. So that's how it's been for me this month so far. Just having a really hard time settling on stuff. So I have a couple different WIPs to show, but not a lot of progress, unfortunately. So the first one that I'm going to show you is actually the orange tree. This is a needlepoint project. I've gotten quite a lot of work done on this. I filled in a lot of leaves, and it's kind of hard to see with the painted canvas, of course, where the differences are, but you can see I filled this in quite a bit. I've got the oranges done. I've got in a lot of this background. I'm not a person that likes to leave the background till last. Just like leaving the back stitching for last can sometimes get boring, leaving the background for last can get boring. So I started getting that background done. So got a little progress on that, which was good. Also, I was working on this Curiosity. Once I restarted this, I have had a hard time putting it down, so I'm just going with that. This one has gotten a bit of work done. Filled in most of that top level of books, and that cat, well, except for his head, it's just about done. So a lot of work here. I did have someone ask me in the comment section if I park, and I'm going to tell you guys, I've tried it. I've tried parking. I've done some parking, but I don't do it on these full coverage projects. I don't like it. It's just not how I was taught to do it. It's fine. I have no problem with people doing it. I have no problems with it. It just doesn't work for me. So the way that I stitch, as you can kind of see on this one pretty well, is that I start in one spot and then I kind of do everything near it. That way you don't have to count a lot. So I don't do that extreme cross country either. I think that looks cool. Love that people can do that. It's just not for me. This for me saves on counting errors. You know, when you're doing things that are next to each other, it's pretty easy to count. So that's one of the reasons why I do that. So next up is this one that I don't think I've shown you before. This is another Thomas Kinkade. I know, shocking. Another Thomas Kinkade, Savannah Romance. This one, I'm going to say it's a little bit odd. This picture that they show is the picture of the painting. And it's really not what the finished project is going to look like. So I'm used to, you know, looking at the picture to see what the finished project's going to look like, and this one's not that. So here it is. Got a lot of work done on this one, actually. I've been working on this one on and off as I want to. It's very pretty. It's got a lot of unfortunately, it's got a lot of blending filament in it, which makes it sparkly, but oh my gosh, I think you all know what a pain that is to work with. So yeah, that's why I do it in little pieces here and there. Next up is Peacock Tapestry. Love this piece. Absolutely love this piece. But as I'm sure any of you who have done Teresa Wenslers know, these are ones that you need to think about while you're stitching. So sometimes it gets relegated to the background. I actually have quite a good amount done here. Ignore my terrible tape job. My sewing machine stopped working and I wasn't going to let that stop me from doing a new one when it was time to open this. You can see that I started doing the back stitching in the leaves. And wow, does that look amazing. I just love this. I also started adding a few French knots at the bottom of the pears, because that's actually not in the design in the pattern, but it is on the picture and it looks cool. So I started doing that. I think that's going to help me with this one. This has, I mean, these leaves, look at this. I mean, if I can get to, it doesn't want to focus on the leaves. My camera's scared. I don't blame it. All of that leaf up at the top to the side. It's, I don't know, 50 different colors, something like that, in blends. And some of these Teresa Wensler blends are 3 colors at a time, not just 2. So this one is definitely super advanced level. And I saw Flosstube, and now I can't remember who it was. I apologize for that. Someone said, with Teresa Wenslers, do not leave the back stitching to the end. Don't do it. And man, my brain just went, no, I was taught you have to do the back stitching at the end. It's the law. Like, that's what you have to do. I was taught by my grandmother when I was like 5 years old. This has been drummed into me forever. And I have never done the back stitching as I go. Never. Well, I'm going to do it from now on, guys. I'm going to do it because getting that little bit done, first of all, it broke up the monotony of 50 different colors of green in, you know, massive confetti, but also it looks so good. And I feel like that it almost makes you feel like you're getting a mini finish. So I'm a convert. Thank you. Thank you all. You have got me to do that now. I'm going to start doing that with some other ones too. Especially Rapunzel. I'm working on Rapunzel for Teresa Wensler, and that one also, wow, has a lot of back stitching. So I'm going to do that from now on. So next up, Thomas Kincaid again. Shocker, right? Everett's Cottage. This one I am getting so close to done with. You'll be seeing a lot of it, I think, until it's finished. So here it is. Massive number of French knots. Also has some of that shimmery blending filament in it. So it can be a little bit slow going, but I love it. Beautiful. I don't know why, but it just makes me feel like a kind of cold morning is the vibe that I get off of it. So that's everything I've been working on the last 3 weeks since my last video. Those 2 WIPGO projects did take up quite a bit of time, but I mean, yeah, I had what, 5 other things in 5 days. So been a bit crazy with what I did. So I've also got some other things to show you. I bought some fabric finally to do some projects. I have decided that I want to work on some of the charts that I have that, not kits. Kits are easy, right? You just rip open a kit and you get started. And that's what I do a lot. You don't have to think about it. You're in a mood to start something new and you just boom, start something new. So I decided, especially after watching people's videos, seeing some of the beautiful stuff everybody's working on, I want to do some stuff that's not on, kit provided 16 or 14 count Ada. So I went and bought some fabric, really pretty fabric. This one is a Belfast linen, 32 count, and the colorway is dwarf. Just beautiful. I got this from 123 Stitch. The other one I'm going to show you also came from 123 Stitch. Beautiful color. I got this to work on the Frosty Forest. So I have 3 of these Frosty Forest patterns. This one is the raccoons. Then there's this one that's a house. And then the deer. So what I want to do is put these all next to each other, kind of like this. Oops. On one piece of fabric. I've seen a lot of people who have all 9. It looks amazing, but they didn't really all talk to me. So I picked out these 3. I'm going to put them side by side on this piece of fabric. I think this is the perfect size for that. And some of you with eagle eyes may have noticed that this color is probably not going to work for this house. So I'm probably going to change the color of the house. We'll see. It might work. I initially was going to go on a gray fabric, which is what they recommend. But the blue, especially with it being so cold lately, it just made me feel more wintry. I don't know. Even as I was buying it, I was saying to myself, that's too blue for that house. So I'll make it work. I'm good at that. Probably just pick up a different color variegated floss, or really, let's be real, I have 100 of them. So yeah, I'll figure something out and make it work. I promise I won't let it disappear into the background of that fabric. The other thing I got, also 32 count linen fabric. The color is garnet. Look at this. How beautiful is that? And I bet some of you know what this is for. My Cluny tapestries. So this piece is big enough to do both of those. Still haven't decided if I'm going to cut it or if I'm going to do them next to each other. I think I'm going to cut it. I think next to each other would be too big, too bulky, too annoying. And might turn it into a whip for just way longer than I want it to be. So I'm probably going to cut it, do them separately. I did do a floss toss on this to make sure, because I'm pretty sure this is a much deeper red than what they call for. The color fabric that they call for on these patterns doesn't exist anymore, I don't believe, or at least I can't find it. It is, by the way, this book is done terribly. It's, it's just not, oh, it reminds me of the old Cross Stitch and Country Crafts magazines where you kind of have to search for some of the information. They don't do a really great a great job of giving you, you know, all the information. It's like the information is with the pattern. Yeah, it's almost like it's an afterthought. So it was a white shellt or witch shellt color, which I can't find now. And I could not find that fabric. So this is what I went with. Oh, there it is. 18 count Davos. Color 377916. So helpful. Couldn't find that. And I thought, you know what? It looks in the pictures a little pink anyways. I'm not a huge pink person, so we'll go with this nice deep red. And I do have most of the colors here. These are very kind of 90s looking colors, to be honest. You know, there's a lot of that kind of peachy pink, green, blue, but there is actually no red, no true red in this. So I think it'll work great. And it'll match, that red color will match so well with the ones that I've already completed and the other one that I'm still working on. So that's what I'm going to do with that. So 2 brand new fabrics, 2 new charts, or well, set of charts on one of them that I'm going to start working on soon. I also got the rest of the floss that I needed for finishing the kitting up of the Mirabilia Lady of the Mist. So if that free spot 13 gets called for WIPGO, I think that's going to be my start there because I finally have everything that I need for that. And I know I'm kind of dying to start these other ones, but I had that one first. So I'm going to do that one first. It's my own crazy way of doing things. Don't try to understand. It's okay. So the other thing that I wanted to talk about today, I counted up my WIPs. Ooh, such a crazy idea. I was considering doing a WIP parade, and I'm not gonna do it. The reason why is that I don't have, honestly, the strength to talk for what it would take to get that done. I have seen some of you have done WIP parades that are like, you know, 3 parts of an hour long each, and that's amazing, but I just don't have that in me. So I'm not going to do that. You're going to see them as I work on them, but I will give you the count. So for cross stitch only, I have 44 projects in progress right now. For needlepoint, I have 16. So that's a total of 60. I have not finished counting knittings and crochet and other crafts. I don't know if I will. The 60 kind of, I mean, I knew, let's be real, I knew how many I had. But having that number of WIPs gives me a certain amount of anxiety. Some of you might understand that. Or really just thinking about it, you know, working on them, going from WIP to WIP, that doesn't give me any anxiety at all. I love it. It's my favorite thing. And I love starting things, obviously. But just thinking about that number of projects that aren't finished gives me a little bit of anxiety. So trying not to think about it too much, especially since obviously I have things I want to start. So we're going to work on getting that down. That's going to be one of my goals, obviously with WIPGO. You know, I'm hoping that that will help me to finish some things. Even though finishing is really not that important to me, I do want to get that number of WIPs down. So I'm working on that. And then probably have at least a dozen knitting projects on the go. So yeah, it's probably more like 75. Yeah. I also counted up unstarted kits. I have 25 of those. I have 3 large, beautiful painted canvases ready to go. And another, you know, just those kind of charts or chart sets. I'm kind of counting Frosty Forest as one thing because it is going to be one project for me. Things that I want to start in the near future, I have 7. So that's not bad. Although, of course, you know, I want to start all those kits, all 25 of them, right? So 35-ish things waiting in the wings. It's a lot. It's a lot of stuff. Obviously I'm at Sable now. That's cool. It's what I love to do. So you know what? I'm not gonna make excuses for it. I'm not gonna apologize for it. It's I think we're all kind of similar in that way. So time to get some stuff finished. Time to keep working on this stuff, and I'm gonna try not to start things. Yeah, we'll see how that goes. I'm one of those people that needs that pop of adrenaline every once in a while, you know, that you get when you start something new. Although there are times too where I like, I love those Thomas Kincaids, and I get one of those kits and I open it up and I sort out all that floss and then I put it away because it's like, ugh, that floss sorting takes forever. And then you think about, okay, now I have to, decide, am I going to start at the top? Am I going to count? Am I going to start at the middle? Like, where am I going to start? What am I doing? And it's like, you know what? I'm good. I don't need to go any farther with that. I feel like starting things is a whole nother set of hobby. So anyways, that's it for me today. Can't wait for those next numbers to come. I'm already trying to figure out what I'm going to work on, which is kind of hilarious. That's how excited I am about getting the WIPGO going. So I think that's amazing. We'll see if it lasts. Happy stitching to all of you. Thank you for watching. Thank you for your comments and your likes. You are all just so wonderful and nice. And yeah, I'm overwhelmed, honestly, by all the nice comments and the new people on Instagram also that I've gotten from this. It's been wonderful. There are so many of you. I'm going to try to get better about remembering some, calling some out, mentioning. Gosh, I used to think I didn't want to watch YouTube videos of people stitching because, or what they're working on, because that was not very interesting, but I've really gotten into it. And I really love seeing everything you're working on. And I'm so proud of all of you for all of your accomplishments, all your finishes. It's just really nice to see. So thank you very much. Have a great end of January and see you guys in February.